Hello everyone, this video on arithmetic. First of all, I am going to discuss about the percentage. The symbol of percentage is like that. It is the percentage symbol. What do you mean by percent? Percent means per 100. Say one student get 75 out of 100, then the percentage of the marks of the student is equal to 75%. If a student secured 40 marks out of 100, then his percentage of marks equal to 40%. If a student secured 30 marks out of 50, then what will be his percentage of marks? This is equal to 60 by 100. So the percentage is equal to 60%. So we have seen that a student, what he scored within 100, this is his percentage of marks. Okay. Percent means per 100. Therefore, 90% equal to 90 by 100. It may be represented as 0.9. 90 by 100 is equal to 0.9. It may also represent as 90 is to 100. Okay, 90 by 100 equals to 90 is to 100. That is 9 is to 10. So 90% can be written as 90 by 100, can be written as 0.9, can be written as 9 is to 10. What is the percentage of the number 2? 2 equals to 2 into 100% equals to 200%. Similarly, what is the percentage of half? Half equal to half into 100% equals to 50%. 2 means there are two full items. Two full items. Each full item is 100%. So altogether, two items, full two items equal to 200%. So 2 equal to 200%, half equal to, this is an item, and if we half it, then what is its percentage? 50%. Half means 50%. Okay. So in this way, we can convert any number into percentage by multiplying it by 100 and put the percentage symbol. Similarly, we can convert any percentage into number dividing this by 100. Here 90% equals to 90 by 100. So if we divided percentage by 100, then we will get the number that is here 0.9. Okay. This is the reverse one another. If we multiply a number by 100, then we get the percentage of number. If we percentage divided by 100, then we get the number. Okay. This thing to be remember in this chapter. So to convert a given fraction or decimal or ratio into a percentage, we have to multiply it by 100, right? Similarly, to convert a given percentage into a fraction, decimal or ratio, we have to divide it by 100. Don't be confused. To convert a number into percentage and vice versa. To avoid this confusion, you have to remember this type of concept, that is 2 equal to the two full things. So 100% plus 100% equal to 200%. Similarly, 90% means one student get, as for example, one student secured 90 marks out of 100. Therefore, ratio is 90 by 100. Okay. In this way, you have to remember the conversion. Okay. Say an amount A increases by 10%. An amount increases by 10%. Then what will be the new amount? The new amount will be A into 100 plus 10 by 100 equals to 110 by 100 into A. Okay. If in general one thing is increases by A%, then what will be the new value of this item? This will be A into 100 plus A divided by 100. Okay. Similarly, if it decreases, then the plus sign will be minus sign. So what will we get? A into 100 minus A by 100, right? If A is 10%, then the value will be A into 100 minus 10 by 100, that is equal to 90 by 100 into A. If an amount goes up by 10%, goes up by 10%, then the percentage reduction to be required to bring it back to the original value. Suppose A is the original value, it goes up by 10%, so the new value will be 110 A divided by 100. As we have seen here. Okay. Then this value to be reduced and bring to the original value A, then what percent to be reduced? Here the calculation, it will be 100 by 11%. How it comes? See here, the reduction value is 110A by 100 minus A, that is new value minus old value or original value, right? New value minus original value. And out of what value? Out of new value. So the ratio is 110A divided by 100 minus A divided by 110A divided by 100. Once again, this is the new value. This is the new value. This is the original value. Original value. Right? Divided by new value. Because the reduction is upon the new value. This is the ratio. Whole thing is the ratio. If we want to convert this ratio into percentage, then we have to multiply it by 100 and put the symbol percentage. Then it is equal to 110A minus 100A divided by 100 into 100 by 110A into 100%. Okay. Then this is equal to this minus this equal to 10A divided by 100 into 100 by 110A into 100. And if we simplify this expression, then we will get 100 by 11%. So, if an amount goes up by 10%, and then the percentage reduction to be required to bring it back to the original value is equal to 100 by 11%. One thing you have to remember here, that if you try to memorize these simplified values for each and every cases, then you will not be able to overcome the hurdles of arithmetic problems. You have to practice and need to acquire the skill to evaluate these deductions. Okay. This is the only procedure to overcome the hardness of the arithmetic, to solve the arithmetic problems. You have to practice and you have to acquire the ability to deduction of formulas and calculations with skills and ease. Now, in above case, if it goes down by 10%, then what will happen? If it goes down by 10%, then the new value is 90A by 100. Okay. And the old or original value is A. This is the new value. This is the original value. As it decreases, so the original value is higher than the new value. So original value minus new value is the decreased value, out of which out of new value, right? Out of new value. This is the ratio. And if we want to convert it into percentage, then we have to multiply by 100 and put the percentage symbol, and this is equal to 100A minus 90A divided by 100 into 100 by 90A into 100%. If we simplify this expression, we get 100 by 9%, right? So this is the case if the original value is A and it goes down by 10%, down is minus 10%, and it takes the value 90A by 100. If we want to revert it to its original value A, then we need to increase plus 100 by 9%. Okay. Here minus symbol, here plus symbol. So in general form, if the rate of increase or decrease or goes down or goes up is R, then this will be 100 R divided by 100 plus minus R percent. This is the general form. You need not to memorize this form. You have to gain the ability to deduce the form from the problem directly. Okay. If we put R equal to, say, R equal to 10, then what will be its value? 1000, 100 into 10 divided by 100 plus 10% equals to 1000 divided by 110. 100 by 11%. This is equal to this. Okay. If we put R is the decrease value are percent, then what will we get? 100 into 10, 10% decrease. In case of 10% decrease, 100 minus 10%. So this is equal to 1000 divided by 90% equals to 100 by 9%. Okay, these two values are equal. So it is the general form of the above case. Above two cases, if the value is goes up by 10% and if the value goes down by 10%, then we get the distinct values, but in general form it is equal to 100R divided by 100 plus minus R%. Okay. Applying this concept, we can solve many of percentage problems. Then I am going to discuss if A is R% more or less than B, then B is 100R divided by 100 plus minus R%. Okay. See here, these two items are exactly equal. If A is R% more or less than B, then B is 100R divided by 100 plus minus R%. Okay. Less or more than. If we draw the diagram, A is R% more. So A and B R% more or less. If more, then we should plus R% add to B, and if less, then minus R%. Okay. Then B is 100R divided by 100 plus minus R%. Okay. So this case and this case are the same, only the language is different. And also see here, if the price of an item goes up or down by R%, then the quantity consumption should be reduced or increased by 100R by 100 plus minus R% such that the total expenditure remains the same. This case also similar or exactly equal to the above two cases. Using this concept or summary, we can solve many problems in percentage. One example is if the prices of sugar increased by 10% or increased by 25%, then the quantity consumption should be reduced how much percentage such that the total expenditure remains the same. If it is the question like that, then what I said here, R equals to here 25%. Rate of increase 25%. So how much need to reduce the quantity of consumption so that the total expenditure will remain same? This is equal to 100. Using this, we get 100 into 25 divided by 100 plus 25. So equals to 100 into 25 divided by 125. So the result is equal to 20%. If we reduce the quantity consumption by 20%, then the expenditure will remain the same. Understand? This is an important question which comes frequently in examination, in traditional examination as well, competitive examination, and we need not to do calculation. We get the result by mental calculation only if our concept is clear. Okay. So here we see that three cases give equal result, that is 100R divided by 100 plus minus R%. Now come to the next point. If R1, R2 are the successive percent of increase of A, then the final value equals to A into 100 plus R1 divided by 100 into 100 plus R2 divided by 100 into dot 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 or so on. Okay. What is the meaning of this expression? I am explaining here. Just see. This is the initial value. It goes up by R1%. Then what will be the value? New value? This will be A into 100 plus R1 divided by 100. Right? And further, if it increase by 2%, then what will be its value, final value? This will be A into 100 plus R1 by 100 into again 100 plus R2 by 100 and so on. If it increase by R3%, then the expression will be again multiplied taking the R3. Okay. Now, what is the difference between this value and the initial value or final value, original value, initial value? Take it final value. What is the difference of these two value in percentage? This is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R1 R2 by 100%. Do we have to memorize this expression? No, certainly not. We have to gain the ability in every cases to deduct the expressions, required expressions. Okay. How do we get this expression? Here is the explanation. Here is the explanation. So, what is the change within final value and initial value? This is the final value. This is the final value. And this is the initial value. If we subtract it from this, then we will get the change of the value. Okay, this is very easy. And within what value this change takes place? Certainly it is the initial value A. So A to be divided this change value divided by initial value. It is the ratio, and we have to convert this ratio in percentage. Then what we have to do? We have to multiply this ratio by 100 and put the percentage symbol. Okay. Then the simplification is remain. So if we simplify this expression, then we will reach out our destination. So here the simplification is shown. We take A common from the numerator and eliminate it from numerator and denominator. Then the remaining value is 100 plus R into 100 plus R1 into 100 plus R2 divided by 100 into 100 minus 1 whole into 100%. Okay. Then The next step of simplification, we multiply these two terms and get 100 into 100 plus 100 into R1 plus R2 plus R1 R2. And this to be multiplied with this and get this divided by this. Then the simplified form is R1 plus R2 plus R1 R2 divided by 100%. So you have to practice these only repeatedly to get the generalized expression. For any problem, you have to take the values in the problem in generalized form and do the calculation and then put the value here and get the result. So if there is a question like that, after successive increase of a value by 10% and 20% respectively, then what will be the the effective increase in percent or percentage. Okay. So in this case, we take R1 equals to 10% and R2 equals to 20%. Then what we have to do? We have to do the generalized operation, and after getting this expression, final expression, generalized expression, we have to put here the values, that is R1 equal to 10, R2 equals to 20, R1 into R2 divided by 100 into divided by 100% equals to 30 plus 2 equals to 32%. Okay. Please give the attention. The procedure of solving the problems, if you follow these procedures, then it will be easy to you to solve problems easily with high speed. And if you start with these values from very beginning, then the calculations in maximum time erroneous, because of this expression. After doing some time, this expression is to be your eye familiar. But if you start with these arbitrary values every time, then this will, if there are some mistakes, then you didn't recognize easily. But if you go through this general procedure, if you have done some mistakes in any step, then your eye will recognize the mistake, and you can rectify yourself the mistakes, and you able to get the correct answer. So all these cases, when you face these problems, you have to go to the first generalized expression and then put the value according to the question and get the result. This will save your time as well as error free process. Give you error free process. Okay. Now this part, related to this part as well as this part. If the population, if the population of a place increased by 8% in every year, then the population will be population into 100 plus r divided by 100 into 100 plus r divided by 100 into so on. Okay, where r is the percentage rate of increase. If the population decreases by r%, then what will be the general expression? Simply, in place of plus, we have to put minus sign. Okay, we have to put minus sign. Nothing separate things are here. We know that with the increase of age of an item, the value is to be decreased. This is known as depreciation value. This is for general items only. If the item is gold, we know that gold is gold. For precision metals, depreciation value is not applicable because their value increase with time. But for general items like as furnitures and other items, these are depreciated with wear and tear. So depreciation calculation will be applicable for only those things only. Okay. Already I told that these are the same cases. The language is different, but the concept is as it is as. So the new price will be equal to price into 100 minus r divided by 100 into 100 minus r divided by 100 into dot dot dot, so on, where r is the percentage rate of depreciation. Okay. I hope you are understand the concept. Now, simple interest. You all know about the simple interest. What is simple interest? Which interest is taking the same value year to year. The amount of interest, where the amount of interest is unchanged year to year, then this is known as simple interest. That is SI. Simple interest. Say the rate of simple interest is R%, or for specific example, say 10%. That is the simple interest for 100 rupee is equal to rupees 10 for a year. Then for 5 years, it will simply multiply by 5, then this is equal to 50. So the interest amount remains same for every year, and that is why it is known as simple interest. But for compound interest, the interest value, the interest amount will be changed in every year. That is why it is known as compound interest. The formulas are for simple interest A equal to P plus PRT by 100, where A is the amount, P is the principal, R is the rate of interest, and T is the time. Whereas for compound interest, P A equal to P into 100 plus R by 100 into 100 plus R by 100 into so on. So it is the same as Look here. Compound interest is nothing but similar to this. Okay. In this case, successive percentage of increase, it is similar to compound interest. Okay. In this context, I have to explain if the rate is decreased, then what will be the generalized formula? In this case, you have to put minus sign in place of plus. Remaining all the things are to be equal. Okay. In place of plus, put minus. In place of plus, put minus. For successive decrease, R1 is also taking minus and R2 is also minus. So minus into minus, this will be plus. Right? For successive decrease, minus R1, minus R2, minus R1 into minus R2, that is plus R1 R2 by 100. Okay. For successive combination of increase and decrease, here R1 is increased, R2 is decreased. So the value will be A into 100 plus R1 divided by 100 into 100 minus R2 divided by 100. In this case, the effective increase will be R1 minus R1 minus R2 minus R1 R2 divided by 100%. Because R1 minus R2, R1 into minus R2 equal to minus R1 R2. Okay. So now we come to the point compound interest, and it will be the same case what I have discussed. And now come to the profit and loss. Profit means sales price minus cost price, and profit percentage equal to profit divided by cost price into 100%. This profit, sales price minus cost price, happened within what price? Upon the cost price. So profit percentage will be profit divided by cost price into 100%. Similarly, loss equal to cost price minus sale price. Out of which price? Cost price. So loss percentage equal to loss divided by cost price into 100%. This is the ratio. We have to multiply by 100 to get the percentage. Okay. What is discount? Discount equal to marked price minus cost price. And what is the discount percentage? This is equal to discount by marked price into 100%. Okay. Because of discount is given upon the marked price. So the ratio is discount divided by marked price, and this ratio, if we want to convert it into percentage, then we have to multiply it by 100 and we get the percentage. Okay. So this is the profit and loss section. I explained. There are many questions coming from this part, and if we understand these points only, then we can solve this problem very easily. Nothing else there. Now, here is a case. I am going to the explanation. Before going to the explanation of this case, I am taking an example. If a shopkeeper if a shopkeeper sells 4 oranges in the at the cost price of 5 oranges, then what is his profit percentage? Visualize this question and give the answer very easily. 5 oranges, among 5 oranges, he sells 4 oranges and get the cost price of 5 oranges. So the profit will be 1 orange. By selling 4 oranges, he gets 1 orange profit. Out of how many oranges? It is not a matter. It is the matter of the cost price, because he gains profit upon the cost price. So, what is the value of cost price? The cost price of 5 oranges is equal to the cost sales price of 4 oranges. Here is the profit is 1 orange sales price. upon the 5 oranges cost price. Okay, 5 oranges cost price, that is equal to 1 divided by 4 oranges sales price. Oranges sales price, because the profit one is 1 orange sale price, right? 1 orange sale price. Now the unit of numerator and denominator is equal, then it makes the exact ratio. This ratio is equal to 1 by 4. If we want to convert in percentage, then we have to multiply by 100 and put the percentage symbol. Then what we get? 25% profit. Okay. He books 25% profit. Right? This is the problem and this is the solution. But we have to put it in general form, and we will see what will the general expression come. Okay. So let us take the sale price of an item is equal to X, and for first item X, this is the problem and this is the answer. And with this, it is not related with this, it is the related to this. Okay, what is this? If the selling price of M articles is equal to cost price of N articles, where M greater than N, then profit percentage equals to M minus N divided by M into 100. Okay. Already we have seen in this example, this ratio is nothing but this ratio in generalized form. Okay. And if where M less than N, then loss percentage equal to N minus M divided by M into 100. Okay. This is the profit percentage and this is the loss percentage. Understand? And here is the another case. If there are two items, first item and second item, the sales price are equal, and here profit P%, whereas here loss P%, then what will be the net profit or loss? This is the question. So the sales price, total sales price equal to X plus X, and the total cost price, here profit P%, so the cost price is 100x by 100 plus P, and here loss P%, so the cost price is 100x divided by 100 minus P. So the total cost price is that is plus that. Okay. Then this is the profit or loss out of which value? Out of this cost price. This plus this. For this item, this is the first item, this is the cost price, and for second item, this is the cost price. So the total of cost price. Profit or loss divided by total cost price. Total profit and loss divided by total cost price into 100%. This is the percentage of profit and loss. If we simplify this expression step by step, then we will get finally equals to minus p square by 100%. Minus sign implies that this dealing is in loss. Okay. So here we see that x has no significance in the generalized expression. If we consider p equals to 10%, sorry, then what will be the result? So the result will be overall profit or loss will be equal to minus p square, that is 10 square divided by 100% equals to minus 1%. Okay. Minus symbol implies that it is loss. Overall, the deal is in loss by 1%. Okay. So you will go through the simplification with patience and you will reach out the final expression. You have need not to memorize this expression. If you memorize, then there is chance to forget. Okay. So I advise you not to memorize this expression. I advise you all to go through this simplification repeatedly and practice it. And when you do it with skill and ease, then you will finally confident enough to solve this type of problems without memorizing the expression or rule or formula. And initially, you may think that this will take much time, but if you practice sometimes, then you will see that this will not take so much time, but you couldn't forget this deduction. But if you memorize it as a formula, then there is chance to forget. Okay. Now, direct and inverse proportion. Let x and y are two variables and related as below. X by y equals to constant, then x and y are directly proportional. With the increase of x, y should increase to remain their ratio x by y equal to constant. Okay, this is the direct proportion. If x into y equals to constant, then they are inversely proportional. When x increases, then y decreases. Then only xy equals to constant. Right? But in first case, if x increases and y increases, then only x by y equals to constant. So this is the direct proportion and this is the indirect proportion or inverse proportion. Okay. With the help of this, we can solve several problems in arithmetic, and the unitary method can be realized by this method also. It will take less time than unitary method. So you have to practice this method to save the time. Now, x and y are the two variables. The value of x is 5 when the value of y is 150 and the value of x is 15. We have to find out the value of y in this respect. So, first of all, we have to judge the relation in between x and y. If x by y is constant, then xy are in directly proportional. In this case, for direct proportional, the unknown value related to this x. So, this to be written below the line and other two values to be multiplied in above the line. Okay, then what we get? We get 15 into 150 divided by 5 equals to 450, right? When xy are in inversely proportional, then this is related to this value. So this will come to the below of the line and the other two to be multiplied and put it above the line. 5 into 150 divided by 15 equal to 50. Right. Let us take two examples for these two cases. For this case, you may assume x equal to number of pen and y equals to the price of pen. So x and y related directly proportional because when the number of pen increases, then the price of pen will be increased. So xy are in directly proportional. In this case, the price of 5 pence equals to 150. What will be the price of 15 pence? So using this, we can say easily that the price of 15 pence is equal to 450 rupees 450. Yeah. Okay. If we take x equal to number of person and y equal to number of day, if some person has given, if some persons have given a piece of work, then when number of persons increases, when the number of person increase, then the number of days will be increased. Increased or decreased? Will be decreased, right? So in this case, x and y are in inversely proportional, and the solution will be like that: 5 into 150 divided by 15 equals to 50. If 5% can do this piece of work in 150 days, then 15% altogether do this work in 50 days only, right? In this way, using direct and inverse proportion, we can solve many problems in arithmetic. Here, I have discussed about the two variables, but apart from two variables, if there are 3, 4, like many variables are there, then the rule will be the same and we can solve easily by this rule. Okay. In these two variable cases, you might have found that this is not so much difference from unitary method, but in case of 3 variables or 4 variables and so on, this direct and inverse proportion method is very helpful and time saving. Okay, so you have to practice this method very much. Now, rule of mixture or application. Here, an example of rule of alligation method is shown here. Let there are two types of t, type of t, t1 and t2. The price of t1 is rupees 50 per 100 gram and price of T2 is rupees 100 per 100 gram. A shopkeeper mixed these two type of tea and he wished to convert it in rupees 80 per 100 gram. Then in what ratio will he mix these two type of tea? We can find it easily by alligation method. This is shown here. We have to write this problem in this structure and we have to subtract 50 from 80 and we get here 30. Similarly, 100 minus 80 we get 20. So the ratio will be 20 is to 30. If we simplify this ratio, then we will get 2 is to 3. So the shopkeeper have to mix these two type of tea, T1 taking in 2 ratios and T2 taking in 3 ratios and mixed up. Then the shopkeeper will get the mixed value of the tea at rupees 8. Okay. This rule is applicable for so many problems in mixture. If you manipulate this method in some way, then it will help us to solve many difficult problems on mixture. Okay. In my problem solving videos, I'll see you how to use this rule to solve harder problems. It will be very interesting for you. So you are requested to continue the watching of this video and enrich your knowledge in fundamental mathematics, which will help you to score higher in competitive exam as well as in traditional examinations also. So keep in touch and tune yourself and build your skills and efficiency to crack the competitive exams what you dream. Now we come to the Venn diagram. Venn diagram is useful to solve some type of problem in arithmetic. Here is an example. If in a class 80% students passed in English, whereas 30% passed in science, then what percentage of students passed in both subjects? In this case, the question is represented in the Venn diagram form. This circle denotes the 80% students who passed in English, and this circle, small circle, denotes the 30% students who passed in science only. The overlapping section represents the percentage of students who passed in both subjects in English and science. So, the number of percentage of students failed in English is equal to 100 minus 80, that is equal to 20%. And the number of student, percentage of student who failed in science only this is equal to 100 minus 30 equal to 70%. So the percentage of student who failed in both subject, this is equal to 20 plus 70 equal to 90%. Okay. So the percentage of student passed in both subject equals to 100 minus 90 equal to 100%. Okay. 10% students are passed in both subject. This is 100 minus 80. 20% failed in English, 70% failed in science. So 90% failed in either English or science. Okay. So 100 minus 90 equal to 10% passed in both subjects. Right. Failed in both subjects and 10% passed in both subjects. Okay. Now come to the problem on time and work. For a given piece of work, men denoted here by capital M and days denoted here in capital D related in inverse proportion. Inverse proportion already I told, when the number of men increase, then the number of days will decrease. So M into D is constant. Right. Therefore, M1 D1 equals to M2 D2 equals to M3 D3 equals to so on. Right? If we know any three among the four, then the third will be find out very easily. If M1 D1 here M2 equals to M2 D2. So if M1 D1 D2 given, then M2 will be M1 D1 by D2. like that. Any three of them are given, then the fourth will be reduced like that. Okay. Case number 2. A certain work completed by A in a days in A days and by B in B days. Then find the numbers of days when they do together. When A and B work together, then how many days to be required to complete this piece of work? A can do it in 1 day equals to 1 by A part of the work, and B can do in 1 day equals to 1 by B part of the work. So if A and B work together, then in 1 day they work 1 by A plus 1 by B part of the work. So the number of days to be required to complete this work equal to 1 by 1 by A plus 1 by B equals to AB by A plus B. This thing, this method is also applicable for tank and pipe problems. Cistern and pipes or tank or pipes problems. Exactly similar method. If we take the value of A and B, then it will be easier to understand. So if for A need to complete this work 10 days, and for B needs 20 days to complete the work, complete the same work, then A and B together will need 1 by 1 by 10 plus 1 by 20. That is equal to 10 into 20 divided by 10 plus 20. Equals to 10 into 20 divided by 30. So 20 by 3 days. Okay. Now, speed, time, and distance problems. We all know that distance equal to distance equal to speed into time. Distance proportional to time when speed is fixed, and speed is proportional, inversely proportional to time when distance is fixed, and distance is directly proportional to speed when time is fixed. This type of problems we may solve easily with the help of direct and inverse proportion. Already I have discussed in article 2 in this video. Okay. two things. See here, 1 kilometer per hour equals to 1 kilometer means 1000 meter divided by 1 hour equals to 3600 seconds. So if we simplify this, then we will get the ratio 5 by 18 meter per second. So what you get, 1 kilometer per hour equals to 15 by 18 meter per second. Similarly, 1 meter per second equals to 1 by 1000 kilometer divided by 1 by 3600 hour equals to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. 1 meter per second equals to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. In some problems, this conversion to be required to take the data in same unit. Now we come to problem on train. If two trains run opposite direction, then the speed of these two trains will be added. If the speed of these two trains S1 and S2 respectively, then the relative speed will be S1 plus S2. And if they move in opposite direction, same direction, then the relative speed is the difference between the two speed. Okay. To pass a tree or post or a man need to travel a train to its own length. Similarly, to pass a bridge or platform, etc., need to travel a train by its own length plus the length of the thing, that is the length of bridge or length of platform. Here are some conditions, here are some situations. What I am telling you, if you understand this situation, then the solving of the problems is to be very easy to you. So please give some attention to study the cases. When two drivers passes each other in same direction, then the distance will be the length of high speed train and the speed will be S1 minus S2. When the above case will happen in opposite direction, then the length will be the length of larger train and speed will be S1 plus S2. If two trains pass each other in same direction, then D equal to L1 plus L2 and S equal to S1 minus S2. Same as above, but in opposite direction, then G equal to L1 plus L2 and S equal to S1 plus S2. For boat and stream problems, if the speed of boat is equal to B and the speed of stream is equal to W, then for upstream relative speed equal to B minus W, whereas for downstream relative speed equals to B plus W. Okay, it is very easy because the stream resists the speed of the boat. If the boat go on upstream, because like here, the stream flow of the stream if in this direction and the boat direction the opposite direction, then the relative speed will be like that. If then the relative speed is equal to V plus W. It is very easy to understand. No problem here. Now, some cases comes the partnership. If ABC are the partner of a business and their capital invest for ABC months respectively, then their total capital will be A into A plus B into B plus C into C. When ABC, capital ABC are the capital of ABC respectively. This is the key term to solve this problem. Here is an example. If capital of A is equal to 2000 and it invested for 5 months, and capital of B equals to 5000 and invested for 4 months, and capital of C equals to 4000 and invested for 12 months, then the total capital will be 78,000. If the profit is 780 rupees, then the profit of rupees 10 per 10,000 capital. So the profit of A equals to 100 and the profit of B equals to 200 and profit of C equals to 480. Therefore, the total capital is 780. In this way, the profit will be distributed among ABC. There are some thing average, unitary method and simplification. Already I discussed in my another videos. So you have to see these videos to know the details about these three topics. Okay. So if we summarize this video, then we have seen that the different situations for percentage problems, and then direct and inverse proportion, then rule of alligation, then Venn diagram, then time and work, then speed, time and distance problems, then partnership problems. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you.